All right. Hello, my name is Tristan. I own rather, an AI automation agency. I'm still relatively new to this, so hopefully, like the whole recording thing. So hopefully, if there's anything off about the videos, maybe the fact that I'm shirtless, and it's weird and you don't like it, then you can let me know, and I'll try and change it for the future. However, I'm doing this to try and sort of show my progress and sort of like keep a log of where I am and where I've gotten. So maybe in a few years, if I look back, I'll have a cool like timeline to see where I am now and where I got to in like a few years. Hopefully that should be pretty cool. What I'm showing you today is a workflow automation for my company that I made. Not my own company, but the company I work at. It's a company in like the clean energy market. Um, and out of security reasons, I'm not allowed to say much more about it. But basically, it's an inbox like cleaner. So we get a bunch of emails that we need to manually go through and work through and check. And a lot of these are either spam, people asking for if we want to buy their ball shaving cream. Obviously not. And there's a lot of similar things, like some deliverers um in the market like send us to like market communication emails, but instead of sending like one email just to be seen better, they send us like 10 of the same emails in a row, and obviously this clutters our inbox tremendously and leaves us with like two, four, 5,000 open tickets a month that we don't really have any need for but still need to look at. So essentially what I've built here is an automation to sort of combat this. So what it does is, first off, you have a HubSpot trigger. We're going to work with HubSpot as of next week. So as of the 30th, or well, first rather. And therefore, it's not fully set up yet. Like if I go in here, you can see the credentials aren't there. We're still working on setting everything up. And for me, also, I should within like 2 or 3 days latest. So someday, like in the beginning of the next week, I should be getting login credentials and admin credentials, so I can actually like connect our HubSpot with and all of our things with the automation with N8N here in which I build this. However, I'm just gonna get straight into it because I really like how this turned out, and I think it's pretty cool. So you start off with a HubSpot trigger here, which just checks when a ticket is created. So when anyone sends us an email, this or like a new email, not one of like a each conversation, but like a new email um, that like runs down, then this trigger gets started, this automation. What happens then is that the HubSpot, because first we want to check the whether the emails are duplicates or not, and after we check this, we're gonna see if they're spam or not. So with duplicates, I mean when different deliverers send us like 10 of the same emails in a row. So what this does is it gets many tickets, in this case two, which is for checking the email that it's looking at, so the email that started the entire trigger, and the one before that, so the first one, and then the second one, and then it checks, okay, is the email that it's now looking at the same as the email before it? If not, it lets it go through. I can show you quickly here with if not, it goes through with another part, which I'm going to go into later. And if it is, however, the same email as before, which it can define with this code, I just had it created for me with ChatGPT within like 5 or 10 minutes. Pretty good. Seems to work quite well so far. If there's anything obviously that proves not to work very well, then I'll have to change the code a bit, but so far this team seems quite solid. And yeah, so this checks for duplicates. Essentially, I can quickly go through a couple of the lines. This essentially just sets the variables for the ticket that I'm looking at now and the one before that. Checks if it's duplicate, and if it's false, or is duplicate equals false. Sort of, how do I explain it? Yeah, it doesn't really matter. But the main part is here. If the previous ticket equals the previous ticket 0, which is essentially current ticket, as we can see here. Here it's also written again in like a more important way, I'll say. And if this is the case, then it's put as true, and the classification is turned into a duplicate. And if it's not true, then so it's not a duplicate, then it's labeled as not duplicate. And then what we go through here is an if clause. So if classification, the sort of variable that it creates in the code, is equal to duplicate, so if that's the case, then it just goes here. And again, I don't have any credentials set up, but essentially it would update the ticket label and turn it to spam, or rather duplicate, and put it in um, another workflow, pretty much. Not a workflow, like another, I forgot the name essentially, but another label that we don't really look at. It just closes the ticket pretty much, or deletes it. And then if this isn't the case, however, if it's not a duplicate, then we go into OpenAI, this model. It's not an agent directly because it doesn't have access to a tool. It's made more like automation wise, forcing it to go to the next step instead of like letting it decide itself, just to be sure that it always does the exact same thing. And so we have here, I'll make this a bit larger. Essentially, we use GPT-4o just to make sure that it's good. And then we have this prompt. Essentially, what it says is classify you can only classify one of the emails as two things, either spam or useful. And then it analyzes them. Spam is like phishing, unrelated to the energy business, etc. And it only returns one word, spam or useful. Useful is anything you can see here. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to blur that out, but we'll see. And then the ticket content is put in here as soon as the ticket comes in, and I have the test data. I can just put it into an expression there, so that should be fine. Um, exactly, and that lets us put the output as either classification is equal to spam, so the output is either spam, in which case it goes all the way back to here, where it's then turned into likely, I would say, we'll just call it spam, the folder, and then we'll never look at it again, just so it gets rid of all the clutter. And if it's true, or if it's false, then it's left alone, so it's not given any label, and then it shows us that we should look at it. Exactly, that's it. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to test it fully in our inbox yet. This will probably be the next, or one of the next videos I make, sort of giving you proof of this working. And if it doesn't work as expected, then proof of it not working and how to fix it. But yeah, I'm having a ton of fun building these automations. It's really fun. I got into it from like the guy on YouTube called Liam Otley. I can show you quickly. And this also now is part of the video that doesn't matter anymore for you. If you're just looking to automate this yourself or do something similar, then for you this isn't important anymore. But just for like my personal story, um, I had a couple of businesses that have all gone mediocre, always nice for a time, but then sort of dropped off due to various reasons. I'm a student studying right now, but now this is honestly the most fun I've ever had, like running my own business. And this guy got me into it, Lee Motley, absolute legend. Um, yeah, exactly. AI automation agencies is just essentially what we do is just build different automations. And right now, usually these agencies have like a specific product that they have built, know sells well, and then just like duplicate it and sell it to a bunch of people. I don't have a product yet that I know sells well, so I'm just doing it for my company right now, and therefore anything they want me to build, I just build. And so far, it's been super fun. This is like one of my favorite builds so far, just because like very simple. but also very effective because it brings our open tickets. I can't show you, unfortunately, but we have for this month, I think, 4,000 open tickets that came in. And when we did an analysis, it came out like 1.5 thousand of those were raw spam or duplicates. And so getting rid of that would already decrease our um, I'm having trouble finding the right words, man. It's good that I'm filming these videos because it's getting my vocabulary back up, letting me just practice speaking and getting into flow better. But yeah, it's bringing our workforce up and like our efficiency up a lot because we don't have to go through a lot of emails that are or will bring our workforce up because we don't have to go through all the emails that essentially are completely useless to us that we can just immediately flag as spam but still need to read through and analyze. So this should really help out a lot. And yeah, I'll then end it here. Thank you for watching, and please, let me know if there's anything you'd like improved for the future. If you have any like builds you want me to build, any automations, um, then for sure I can do that and show you how it works. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you hopefully in a week or so when I can prove to you that this works.